Kama paro, kama jali. Let's not lie. There's a sense of spiritual pride that you feel when you listen to people like Apostle Arome, Apostle Selman, Lawrence Oyor, and then when you pray stretch prayers like 6 hours, 12 hours, wakabashi. And also there's a way you feel if you're not one of those that are shouting prayer power, staying power, destinies are waiting, generations are waiting, all those kind of things. It's a way you just feel left out and not really spirit cocoa. You are welcome. You are welcome. Please subscribe and like this video. My name is Damaris, and on this channel I talk about Jesus from the point of view of a young person. I want you to see that you can be a Christian and be young and enjoy it. So today I want us to have a conversation about this spirituality of a thing, and I'm going to talk about it from two standpoints. So I'm going to talk about the people that think that doing all these things like praying, stretch prayers, and listening to those people I mentioned earlier means that you are spiritual. You're actually on a spiritual journey, which to some extent is true, but I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm also going to talk about the people that feel sort of left out because they are not really carrying out all those spiritual activities. So I'm going to just talk about those two standpoints. I feel like there's this understanding that if you are really spiritual, if you're really going after God, then you're going to be doing all those things like praying for long hours, listening to Lawrence Oyor. I know there's just that understanding in the air. Nobody has said anything, but it's just flying around. And I believe in it. I believe in stretch prayers. I believe that there are some things that will not be birthed if you don't spend time, traveling in prayer, and those things will not come in 10 minutes prayer every day, all this kind of stuff. But I'm afraid that we are putting too much. Well, I'm not saying too much, but we're putting a lot of emphasis on, or there seems to be a lot of emphasis on power manifestation, all those things. And I just feel like there should be a place for growth and building the right foundation before, maybe let me not say before, but there should be a place for that. Let me just put it like that. And it's important that we don't skip steps, and we need to understand that power manifestation is not all there is to being a Christian. I've seen some people that listen to so many messages in a month, pray how many hours and all those things, but when they step out, they cannot really relate to their world. I don't know how to put it, but there just seems to be a gap. And that's why I feel like there's a need for a balance. While we are doing all these spiritual activities, which are good, I think there's a need to, just take things step by step. So let me share my story. So there was a time, a few years back, I joined a group of people, just I think a WhatsApp group or something, and then we're challenging ourselves to pray more and particularly pray more. And then we had this we had goals that we said okay, and we had a coordinator that give us assignments that okay, you have to pray for so hours a day. So me and I go and I lock myself in the room. I'll be checking time, okay, for so times is 1 hour I'll be there kabashing, and I'm just really waiting for the time to be over. Some days I enjoyed it, but some other days, most days, I just wanted it to be over. Like what's this stress? So I feel like I'll just put in a lot of pressure on myself to be spiritual, to power, all those things. Those things are good. Those things are really good, and I believe in them. So I was putting so much pressure on myself, and I just wanted to be praying, and it was not easy. I found myself struggling, and so after a while, in fact, it even affected how I was raising my family. I didn't even know until my younger brother started complaining to my mom that I wasn't spending time with him. I was always praying, always listening to messages, And there's a way you feel when you are you're doing those things, and then there are people that are not doing those things, like people that are not praying stretch prayers and listening to messages by Apostle Arome. It's the way you just feel like, please, we're not busy. There's the way you just feel higher than them, like this one's I don't have time for all those things. I don't have time for random gist. I don't have time to play. It just comes because I'm there. Maybe it can be different for you, Sha, but that was what it was like for me. So I wasn't even relating with my family. I was just always, okay, I'm praying, I have meeting, I have goal, I must finish this book. And I just, after when I just said, this thing cannot work for me. And I dropped out of the group. And, so I just, and I remember just telling God that year that, okay, I think, okay, the new year was 2020. And I just remember telling God that, you know what, I just want to start again. Like, I want to know you. I want to sit down and know you. I want to know the meaning of Christianity. I want to know Jesus. I want to know the meaning of his coming. Like all this, I just don't want to have head knowledge, and I don't just want to just think that time, because sometimes you think that you know stuff and then you realize that you actually don't know anything. You don't understand righteousness. You don't understand those things. And it's not like I was having fake Christianity or something, but I just really wanted to know God more. Like I wanted to understand the basics. Let me put it like that. I wanted to understand the basics. And so I just told God, okay, I want to go back to square one. I want to start again, as if I just gave my life to Christ. And I want you to just reveal yourself to me. I started doing that. That was 2020. I think that was the year I also started YouTube. And it was also the year that I stopped YouTube. And one of the reasons this was like the major reason I stopped YouTube was I just felt like I needed more depth. Like I didn't just want to come and just be saying stuff that were just, I didn't want to give shallow stuff. I wanted to really share from a place of conviction. It's not like I wasn't convinced all the other things I was saying like before, like the videos I was making. But I felt like there was more, and I wanted to take a break from, always sharing, always teaching, always, reaching out. I wanted to just take in and have God really minister to me and really have a relationship with God. Because it's so easy. It's so easy to get lost in activity and you actually think you are doing it right. You may not even be feeling drained though. But when you really sit down, there's no intimacy. You don't really know God. Like, I don't know how to explain it. 2021, COVID ended, school resumed back. I moved back to Lagos and I joined a church. And a very good church, the Covenant Nation, but I attended the youth church, the Covenant Connect, and boom, my growth just just tripled, because it was like I was in the place where I was being fed with exactly what I needed. So I wasn't getting like diet that was below me, and I wasn't getting diet that was like higher than my level. I don't know. I don't understand what I'm saying, when I talk about below and higher. So it was like I was just getting the right diet that I needed. Like I was just really, when someone asked me, oh, why did you join this church? Why are you here? I'm like, it's because I feel like they are ministering to my needs directly. And that was really what it was. And since then, my growth just really sped up, and I've just been enjoying God. I feel like when you skip the basics, when your foundation is not right, it's just like a child that they are doing double promotion for the child, and you think, okay, because the child is in primary 3, the child is solving maths higher than their level and they're doing well, you now think, okay, let's promote the child to secondary school, let the child go and continue secondary school, without realizing that in secondary school the child is not just going to face, it's not just about the maths, it's going to face older classmates that are doing older stuff that he cannot relate to. He's going to be in the midst of teenagers that are not yet his level, and he's going to get exposed to so many things. So it's not just like the academic area. Sometimes you just feel like, okay, I'm a Christian, and people you just think, okay, once I give my life to Christ, I start working with God a bit, the next thing I should pray in 12 hours. I feel like it's just like fast tracking things, and there is always a danger, or I believe that there's a danger in speeding things up like that. In fact, I've seen people, I know people that prayer, they pray it, but after a while, excuse me, it's a bit cold. It's really cold, not a bit. It has been raining all night. So after a while, they get drained from all the activity and they just lose interest in God. Like, imagine not going after God again because you are drained from going after God. Like, is it even God we're going after before? So that thing, I think we just have to be careful, because I almost fell into that trap of, activity. And I'm not saying that everybody that is doing those things, please, I'm not saying everybody that is doing those things, they are doing activity, but I'm just trying to draw attention to this. I didn't mention that the year where I sort of retreated from all those activity, not like I've explained that. So the year that I retreated and just wanted to just take in, there was also like this guilt and this feeling of, how do I say it now? Like, because I had friends that would text me, like, oh my God, Damaris, we had like 12 hours prayer stretch, prayer art, it was crazy. And I'm like, I can't even pray for 30 minutes. You people are doing 12. Please, why are you people doing it? So I used to feel left out, and I used to feel lazy, like I'm not even sure I'm really spiritual like that, But I knew that I'd committed to, I just wanted to work with God at the pace that God wanted to work with me. I wasn't ready to speak. I just admitted that, okay, I'm in nursery 1. I don't like praying. I would rather press my phone I just came to terms with the reality that I'm not where I think I am, so I just was ready to walk at the pace that God wanted me, or God, I won't say my pace, because I feel like it was God's pace, because I think there's a place for getting milk, there's a place for getting meat. So I think when you just jump milk stage and you just want to go straight to eating meat, I think your teeth is gone, or that's if you even have teeth gone. So I think that there are ministries and then there's church. So I think that the first thing I would say is that you should have a church. A church is like a base, like a balanced church, because the thing about church is that church touches on every area. That's why pastors, they're really trying. So church is going to minister to your spiritual needs, minister to your physical needs, So you end up having like a balanced life when you have a church. So I feel like everyone should have a good church, a balanced church, that they operate from, like their base, and then you can now listen to social message, listen to this person, and like that. Because I've seen that a lot of young people don't like church. They just want to, even when they go to their parents' church or they go to any church, they just want to let them just be done. Just want to go back home and listen to Lawrence Oyor or listen to so. You get? And I don't think that's really the best. I think you need a church. You need other kinds of teaching. You need to actually sit down and learn scripture. You need to be taught on love. You need to be taught on Christian character, rather than just heal the sick, raise the dead, all those kind of things that are usually exciting. Next thing I'll say is that you should be able to discern the times and seasons that you are in with God, with the Holy Spirit. So if you've been taking milk for a while and God is telling you, okay, come up, start taking bits of meat, you should be able to discern and respond. So don't get too comfortable in that primary one or nursery one. When it's time for you to move on to primary school, be ready and respond, because it's easy to just get comfortable with, okay, I'm just praying 15 minutes every day, it's working for me, I love Jesus, but I just didn't love it, and but God is already nudging you that, okay, it's time for you to start. There's some things we need to do now, there's some things we need to push out, there's some things we need to breath now. So it's time for you to start praying 30 minutes, it's time for you to start praying an hour, it's time for you to start praying 2 hours, it's time for you to start waking up at night to pray, it's time for you to start listening to Oyo, it's time for you to start, you get? So I think it's important for you to be able to discern when God is calling you higher, and not just get comfortable with baby things, or every time the only thing you want to be hearing are sweet things, and Jesus loves you, Jesus is not angry with you, all those kind of messages, which are good as well. But there's a way you can just, that's the one I want to hear. You don't want to hear about prayer power. You don't want to hear about praying 12 hours or all those things. You just want, okay, the sweet parts. Every part is sweet, but you get what I'm saying. So I'd say just like take it easy and walk with God. Right? Just walk with God. Let God be the one leading you. Don't get intimidated or carried away by, the noise. Everybody's jumping in. I want to be on fire for God. All those things. Don't get, sit down with God. I know where you are. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Don't just be jumping about or just be excited about all those things and then you not miss out on the basics. So yeah, I hope you've been blessed by this video. Please share this video. If you know someone that this video is going to bless, send them the link. Share it to your WhatsApp status. Share it to Instagram. Please tell everybody that there's some good content here on YouTube and they need to watch it. If you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you think it's good. Also leave me a comment about what you think about this. Have you been here before? Is this something you can relate to? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree? Let's talk in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye.